The living room smelled faintly of cinnamon and pine, but there was no cheer in the air. The small artificial tree leaned slightly in the corner, its lights unplugged, waiting for someone to bring it to life. On the couch sat two children, Maya, 7 years old, and her younger brother Terence, 6, staring at their mother with wide eyes. Their mother, Loretta, stood tall in front of them, her hands on her hips, her voice carrying the weight of a storm. "You heard what I said," Loretta repeated. "No first grade in school, no Christmas gift for the two of you." Maya's lips trembled. "But Mom, I did try." Loretta shook her head. "Trying ain't the same as doing. Your teacher told me you both been playing in class, not focusing, not finishing your reading. And now December is here, and you expect me to put presents under that tree? No. Not this year." Terence buried his face in his sister's shoulder. He had wanted a toy car so badly, one with doors that opened and wheels that really rolled. Maya had secretly dreamed of a dollhouse. But the words hung heavy. No first grade in school, no Christmas gift. Loretta's voice softened just a little. "I love y'all too much to raise quitters. Life is hard, and if you don't learn now, you'll never learn. Sometimes love means saying no." The room went silent except for the faint ticking of the old clock on the wall. The next morning, Maya sat at the edge of her bed, her small fingers clutching her crumpled report card. The words, "needs improvement," were circled in red by her teacher, Ms. Carter. Terence sat across the room on the floor, flipping through his own report card like it was a newspaper he couldn't quite read. His marks weren't much better. Maya whispered, "If Mum sees this again, Christmas really over for us." Terence frowned. "Maybe if we hide it." Maya shook her head. "Mum always finds out. She says the truth comes out like light through a crack." They both sighed. Their home was small, 2 bedrooms with thin walls, and nothing could be hidden for long. Loretta wasn't a cruel woman, she was tired. Working double shifts at the diner left her drained. She wanted the best for her children, but she knew education was the only ticket out of the cycle she was trapped in. As she washed dishes that night, she thought about Christmas. Her coworkers were talking about shopping trips, holiday sales, and Secret Santa. Loretta, on the other hand, was counting rent money. She whispered to herself, if they don't push harder in school, what future do they have? The weight of single motherhood pressed on her shoulders, heavier than any tray she carried at work. The following weekend, they visited Grandma Pearl. She was the kind of grandmother who wore big hats to church and always had sweet tea on her porch. Maya ran to her, tears brimming. "Grandma, Mum said no Christmas gift, 'cause we not doing good in first grade." Grandma Pearl's eyes softened. "Child, sometimes your mum's words are tough, 'cause life been tough on her. But listen, education is like a key. Without it, doors stay locked. With it, you can open the world." She pulled both children close. "Don't be mad at your mum. She loves you enough to tell you the truth." That night, under the covers, Maya and Terence made a pact. "We gotta do better," Maya whispered. Terence nodded. "Yeah. We read every night. We do the homework. We prove Mum wrong." Their small hands joined together. It was a promise sealed in the darkness of their tiny room. The next week at school wasn't easy. Ms. Carter asked Maya to read aloud. Her voice stumbled over simple words like because and together. Some kids giggled. Terence had trouble writing numbers in order, often mixing them up. At recess, Maya told him, "We can't give up. Remember the pact." Terence frowned. "But it's hard." Maya squeezed his hand. "Hard don't mean impossible." After school, Maya begged their mum to stop by the library. Loretta was surprised, but agreed. The children wandered through aisles of books, their eyes wide. Maya picked a book about adventures in space, while Terence chose one about cars. The librarian, Mrs. Thompson, noticed. You two like to read? She asked. Maya answered, We want to. We need to. Mrs. Thompson smiled. Then you came to the right place. Loretta noticed the change, her kids sitting at the kitchen table with library books spread open. Still, doubt lingered. Don't think a few days of reading gonna change your grades overnight, she warned. But inside, she felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, her words had struck the right chord. At school, a flyer went out about the annual Christmas play. Every student was invited to participate. Maya wanted to join but hesitated. What if I mess up my lines? She asked Terence. Terence grinned. Then I'll be there to clap loud enough to cover it up. The thought of standing on stage made Maya's stomach flutter, but part of her wanted to try. At home, studying became routine. But there were arguments, too. Terence groaned one evening. I'm tired of reading, Maya. Can't we just play? Maya shook her head. No. You want to open that toy car on Christmas morning? Then you better read this page with me. Sometimes he listened, sometimes he didn't, but Maya's determination never wavered. One afternoon, Miss Carter called Loretta after school. I've seen improvement, she said. Maya is reading more confidently, and Terence is starting to write his numbers in the right order. Loretta almost cried. Thank you, Lord, she whispered after hanging up. But she didn't tell the children right away. She wanted to see if they would keep pushing. As Christmas drew closer, commercials blared on TV. Dolls, cars, games, and shiny things. Maya and Terence watched with longing eyes. One day, Maya found $1 bill on the sidewalk. She picked it up and stared. Could we buy a gift for each other with this? Terence asked hopefully. Maya thought about it. A single dollar couldn't buy much, but the idea of giving rather than receiving planted itself in her heart. The Christmas play practice began. Maya was given 2 lines, simple but important. She stumbled the first few times, but Terence cheered for her. You sound great, he said, even when she didn't. Maya smiled. Her confidence grew with every practice. One late night, Loretta sat by the dim light of the kitchen lamp, staring at her children's report cards again. She remembered her own childhood, how she had begged for toys but never got them. I wanted them to have better, she whispered. But maybe better don't come from things. Maybe it comes from lessons learned. She wiped a tear and resolved to think carefully about Christmas morning. The house was quiet on Christmas Eve. The tree still leaned in the corner, lights unplugged. Maya and Terence had left a note under it. The note read, Dear Mum, we promise to keep trying in school. Even if we don't get gifts, we love you. Merry Christmas. Loretta found it that night. Her chest tightened as she read the words. She whispered into the silence, Lord, maybe they understand more than I thought. Sunlight slipped through the thin curtains, landing on Maya's face. She woke up slowly, her heart racing. Would there be gifts? She tiptoed to the living room. The tree still leaned, but something was different. At its base sat 2 wrapped packages, small but real. Terence ran in behind her. Maya, look, he shouted. Loretta stood in the doorway, her arms folded but her eyes warm. Don't just stare. Open them. The children tore into the wrapping. Inside, Maya found a second-hand dollhouse with tiny furniture, a little worn but beautiful. Terence unwrapped a toy car, red paint chipped but wheels still spinning. They gasped in joy. But Mum, Maya asked, I thought you said no gifts? Loretta smiled faintly. I said no gifts if y'all didn't try. But I've been watching. You kept your promise. You worked hard. That's what matters. The children hugged their mother tightly. Thank you, Mum, they cried together. Loretta kissed their foreheads. Remember, Christmas ain't about gifts. It's about love, family, and the lessons we carry." Maya nodded, her dollhouse pressed to her chest. Terence drove his car across the living room floor, grinning ear to ear. For the first time in weeks, Loretta felt peace. Later that evening, the family went to the school auditorium for the Christmas play. The stage was decorated with paper snowflakes and painted stars. Maya waited nervously backstage, clutching her script. When it was her turn, she stepped forward. Her small voice rang out clearly, "Christmas is a time for hope, even when things are hard." The audience applauded. Terence clapped so loudly his hands stung. Loretta's eyes brimmed with tears. After the play, Miss Carter approached Loretta. "You should be proud," she said. "Maya has grown so much in just a few weeks. Terence, too. They've shown resilience." Loretta nodded, swallowing her emotion. "Thank you. I didn't know if my tough love would work." Miss Carter smiled gently. "Sometimes, children need both firmness and encouragement. You've given them both." That night, they sat together by the small electric heater, pretending it was a fireplace. Loretta told stories about her own childhood Christmases, how sometimes there were no gifts, but there was always faith. "Life don't hand you everything wrapped in ribbons," she said. "You gotta earn it. But you'll always have my love." Maya leaned against her. "We know, Mum," Terence added, "and we gonna make you proud in school." Loretta hugged them close. Remembering the dollar bill Maya had found weeks earlier, the children had secretly saved it. On Christmas night, they presented it to their mum inside a folded piece of notebook paper. "Mum," Maya said shyly, "this is for you." Loretta unfolded the paper, puzzled. $1. Terence grinned. "It's all we had, but we wanted to give you something too." Loretta's eyes filled with tears. "Baby, this means more to me than anything money could buy." She tucked the dollar into her Bible as a keepsake. When January came, the children returned to school with a new attitude. Maya read her books every night, determined to improve. Terence practiced writing his numbers until his hand cramped. Miss Carter noticed their progress immediately. "I'm proud of you both," she said with a smile. For the first time, Maya felt smart. Terence felt capable. On the first weekend of the new year, they visited Grandma Pearl again. Maya ran to her with her library book in hand. "Grandma, listen. I can read a whole page now." She read aloud slowly but clearly. Grandma Pearl clapped her hands. "That's my girl. See what happens when you don't give up." Terence showed her his notebook full of numbers. "And I can write to 100. Grandma kissed them both. "Your mum's raising you right. Keep it up." Loretta noticed that the burden she carried seemed lighter. She still worked long hours, but now there was pride mixed in with her exhaustion. She no longer worried if her children would drift. She had seen them rise. At night, she whispered a prayer of thanks. "Lord, I asked for strength, and you gave it through my children." Months later, when spring arrived, Loretta sat with Maya and Terence on the porch. The air was warm, and laughter from neighborhood kids filled the street. Maya asked, "Mom, will we get big gifts next Christmas?" Loretta smiled. "Maybe, but you know what the real gift was." The children looked at her curiously. "The real gift," she said softly, "was watching you believe in yourselves. That's worth more than anything I could put under a tree." Maya and Terence leaned against her, their hearts full. And for the first time, they understood, Christmas wasn't about what you got, it was about who you became. When spring arrived, the school held its annual festival. Booths lined the playground, children played games, and music filled the air. Maya volunteered to read a short poem on stage. She had practiced for days. Her voice still shook, but she didn't back down. "Education is the key. That unlocks the world for me." The crowd clapped, and Loretta stood tall in the back, clapping the loudest. Terence joined a math game, solving problems faster than some older kids. Loretta whispered to herself, "They're changing before my eyes." Even with progress, there were hard days. Some nights Maya still cried over tough words. Some mornings Terence pouted, refusing to pick up his pencil. Loretta no longer scolded with anger, but with patience. "Remember, babies," she said, "hard days don't last. Strong people do." Those words sank deeper than she realized. At the library, Maya met Sophia, a quiet girl from her class who loved books. They began reading together, encouraging one another. Terence made a new friend too, Joel, who loved toy cars just as much as he did. They raced cars on the sidewalk, sometimes adding math to the game by keeping score. Slowly, school stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like possibility. One evening, Loretta came home with surprising news. "Guess what? The diner made me shift leader. More hours, but more pay." The kids jumped up and hugged her. "That means we can save more?" Maya asked. "Yes, baby," Loretta said with a proud smile. "It means maybe next Christmas we won't just get by, we'll get ahead." The children saw the joy in her eyes and realized how hard she worked for them. That summer, Loretta sent Maya and Terence to stay 2 weeks with Grandma Pearl. She believed children should know their roots. Grandma Pearl made them read every morning, then sent them outside to play in the afternoon. She told them stories of when she was a girl picking cotton in the hot sun, and how she dreamed of her grandchildren having more. "You're living my dream," she told them. "Don't waste it." Those words stayed with them. When fall returned, Maya and Terence faced new assessments at school. Maya read a story aloud without stumbling. Terence solved addition problems quickly, grinning with pride. When the results came back, both children had improved greatly. Ms. Carter handed Loretta the reports with a smile. "They're ready for 2nd grade." Loretta's knees nearly gave out with relief. December came again. This time, the tree didn't lean. Loretta bought a sturdier one, strung it with lights, and even placed a gold star on top. Maya and Terence decorated with handmade ornaments. Each night, they read Christmas stories aloud, their confidence showing. Loretta watched them with pride, remembering the tears of the previous year. At church, the pastor announced a toy drive for children with struggling families. Maya whispered to Terence, "Let's give." They took 2 of their old toys, the dollhouse and the red car, and placed them in the donation box. Loretta's eyes watered. "Y'all understand the real meaning now." On Christmas Eve, the children wrote another note and placed it under the tree. "Dear Mum, thank you for teaching us that school matters and that Christmas is more than gifts. We love you. Maya and Terence." Loretta found it later and pressed it against her heart. "Lord, you turned my children into blessings." Christmas morning arrived. This time, there were not just 2 gifts, but several. Books, clothes, and a few toys waited under the tree. Maya squealed as she unwrapped a brand new doll. Terence shouted when he found a shiny new car with doors that opened. But the biggest gift was the laughter filling the house. Loretta looked at her children, her heart swelling. "Last year I said no 1st grade in school, no Christmas gift. But this year, you earned everything under that tree, and more." Maya hugged her tight. "Mom, the real gift is you." Terence added, "and us believing in ourselves." Loretta smiled, tears in her eyes. Then we all got the greatest Christmas gift of all. The family sat together, wrapped in love, their struggles now part of their story, a story of faith, perseverance, and the power of believing.